everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are having an absolutely amazing day. If you're new here, hi, I'm Liz, aka My Pastel Past, and I do a lot of Animal Crossing content here on YouTube, and I'm a variety streamer over on Twitch. Now, you might be saying, hey Liz, you've been gone for a while, and I know I've been gone for almost a month. I promise I will address that in this video, but before we do that, we're just gonna hop right in and get started with the build. Today's build is a French garden speed build. The image on the screen that just popped up is where I kind of took in my inspiration from. I just did a quick Google search. Oh my gosh, I can't English anymore. I'm so sorry. This video is going to be so chaotic. And we're only just getting started now. But I did a quick Google search for French gardens, and that was one of the things that caught my eye. So I kind of took inspiration from it in like the general shape of it and how the path winds around different sections of flowers and bushes and statues. So I kind of did something similar here. I tried to leave in as much as I could, so this video is a little bit longer than normal. I just didn't want to cut out or edit out the parts of the video where I'm doing like the pathing. That way, if anyone did want to recreate this build or even take inspiration from it, they could fairly easily. That being said, if you do take inspiration or you try to recreate it, please take me, because I absolutely love seeing your builds. I love visiting your guys' islands and seeing what you guys have created. So be sure to tag me, because I would love to see what you guys come up with. But with that being said, I think it's time to address why I've been gone for 2 months. Or not 2 months, 1 month. Oh my gosh, if it was 2 months, I would be upset. I'm upset that it's been 1 month, but still. First off, I want to apologize for just kind of disappearing. As far as I'm aware, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I have a way of letting anyone here on YouTube know when I have to take breaks or disappear. I don't have access to the community tab yet, unfortunately, since I'm still a fairly small content creator. So it's really hard for me to let the YouTube part of my community know when I'm taking breaks. I've talked about this quite a bit on some of my other platforms, so if you're part of my Discord, my Twitch community, or even if you follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen me post and talk about this a lot in the past. But I have been diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and ADHD. Sorry, I'm like slurring my words now. It's fairly late at night, so I'm trying to be quiet while I record this. But I've been diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and ADHD. And the three of those things combined can bring for some really fun and amazing days and some not so great days. And unfortunately for me, this past month has been one of those times where it wasn't as fun as it could have been. And the reason for that is I had my antidepressants switched. So my last medication I was on wasn't really working for me. So I'm on some new ones. So far, they've been kind of doing their job. They're not perfect. I don't think I'll ever find something that's perfect, but they're working somewhat well, I guess, is the best way that I can put it. But when I first switched, and this past month, it made it really, really hard on me mentally, because I so badly wanted to keep doing content and push myself to get videos out and to do streams, but my mind and my body wouldn't let me. They were fighting with each other, because there were days where my mind so badly wanted to create content and make videos and do streams, but my body was almost, I don't want to use the word paralyzed, but I couldn't move. They felt so heavy that I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't bring myself to get up or to do anything. And there were other days where I felt energized physically, but mentally I was exhausted and I couldn't do anything but lie in bed. So for the most part for this past month, I have been lying in bed a lot, staying in my room a lot, not going out. I haven't been able to play video games or talk to my friends or do the things that I normally love doing, because my mind and my body have just been at war with each other, arguing constantly. So when that happens, it's really hard for me to go out and make content and be energetic and exciting and entertaining and all the things that I want to be when I'm making videos and streaming. So it got to a point where it was just a constant struggle of, oh gosh, I haven't posted in a while, I need to make some videos, I need to create content, I need to stream, but also at the same time not being able to. And it was stressing me out to the point where I was just having panic attacks. So I decided to take a step back from all content creation until I started to feel better, which is why I've been gone. I am slowly starting to feel better. I'm still not perfect. I don't know if I will ever feel perfect or normal again, but there are more good days than bad days now, which I think is a good sign. Hopefully it stays that way, which is why I'm making this video today and trying to get this out for you guys tomorrow. That way I can get back to my normal posting schedule. That being said, if I do happen to disappear or need to take another break, please know this isn't me like leaving. I will be back. I think my biggest fear with having to take the break and not being able to tell anyone on this platform was that people would think that, oh my gosh, they gave up, they're not doing videos anymore. That's 100% not the case. I just needed to take some time for myself and my mental health. And since things aren't perfect yet, there will probably be days where I'm not able to post or stream, or maybe a stream will end early or be much shorter than normal, and those things might happen, but just know that, again, that's me taking time to make sure that I'm okay so I can continue to make content for you guys. Because I love creating content and I love pushing out these videos and doing streams, and I want to continue to do it. But there are also times where I need to take a step back and make sure that I'm okay before I'm doing all of these extra videos and stuff. So yeah, that's why I've been gone. That being said, if you're going through something similar and you're having these really bad days, just know that you're not alone. We are here for you. We support you. We love you. You are amazing. There are resources available. If you do need help, I will be sure to put some of those down in the description below. Never be afraid to ask for help, because we all need a helping hand at times, and having a good support system is super, super important. I'm super grateful for my support system. They have helped me through so much. So please know that you're not alone. We love you. We appreciate you, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. Okay. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I probably should have made a script for this video, but I figured let's just embrace the chaos. I'm back now, guys. Kinda. I don't want to say I'm fully back, just in case I have to disappear for a bit again. Because just because I'm feeling good now doesn't mean I'll feel good in a week, if you know what I mean. So, back, fingers crossed. I'm going to do my best to post to my normal schedule, but again, if I miss a few days, please don't be upset. I will post whatever I can, as much as I can. But yeah. Now we're just kind of working back on the garden. This feels so weird to go from like a topic like mental health, which I'm very passionate about and trying to be as open and honest as I can about it, to like back to the build. It's so weird for me to do, but back to the build. We're placing all of these, the wedding arches, and then the pergola. I don't know how to actually pronounce these things. I want to just call them gazebos, because that's what they are in my mind. They're just a gazebo. But we're placing them around to kind of create a border. If you notice at the image I had on screen at the beginning of the video, they kind of had the garden surrounded by these really tall hedges. And this isn't The Sims, so we don't really have that option in here in Animal Crossing to do. So instead, I tried to recreate that kind of feel by using these, I'm going to call them gazebos, because again, I don't know how to pronounce the name otherwise. These like flower gazebo overhanging things alongside with the simple panels that I have with the lattices. Just as a side note, the designs on these simple panels and the paths I used are not my design, so like with most other things, I will be linking them in the description below. So be sure to check out the creators of those. And here I'm having a small brain moment. I'm realizing that I can pull these items in closer. But my brain went, yeah, let's just take down all of the simple panels that we just put up, and then pull them in. And then I had a big brain moment and I realized, oh, or I can just take the ones that are right in front of the areas that I'm pulling in and then pull it in instead of undoing all of the hard work I've done. So we love that. We love having small brain moments when we're like, we're making more work for ourselves than necessary. But this border, I think, took the longest. The inside build is a little bit easier and faster, I guess, to do. This part took the longest. It also took really long because I had to spend a bunch of time before I even started recording just to make sure that everything was spaced out right, because my biggest fear was I would start building and then I'd run out of room or realize that things are over too far on one side or I don't have enough room on another. So I made sure to have everything spaced out properly before I even started recording. But now I'm just placing some hedges. I'm leaving some spaces in between because I want to put some street lamps in. I can't remember where I put that in the video, but at some point I put in street lamps. Right now I just put in some flowers on either side to go through the tunnel, and then I placed this statue in the middle. I thought it was a nice centerpiece. I debated whether or not I wanted to put a fountain in the middle, and then I decided against it. I thought that a fountain would just be too big for this area, and this area is already big enough on its own. It doesn't need huge statement pieces in the middle. Plus I already had kind of like a fountain centerpiece for my shopping district build. If you haven't seen that one yet, I'll be sure to link that down in the description below. But right now I'm just kind of getting some of the bigger items down in each of these areas. I am trying to make them not uniform, so things will be placed differently. I don't know. I wanted it to have more of a random feel to the garden, make it more a little chaotic. But I always find that when I place the bigger items first, it's easier to decorate with bushes and flowers later on, so which is what I'm doing now. I'm just trying to get like the bulk of everything. And I did really want to use these shell fountains. Unfortunately, they ended up having to be removed. Here I am placing the street lamps. I knew I did at some point in this video. I missed the chaos. And I'm back to doing the border. Wow, I am really all over the place in this video. I forgot what I was saying before. I really should have scripted this out ahead of time, and I didn't. Right, I was talking about the fountains. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The chaos is back. I hope you all are ready for the chaos. But the shell fountains, I really wanted to use them, but they have this kind of like buffer area, I guess I could call it. I don't really know what else to call it, but it's this section around the item where you can't place things next to it. There's a few items in Animal Crossing that are like this, and it just bugs me because I feel like I should be able to place things like flowers and bushes right up close or almost underneath the fountain, but the game won't let me. So that got really frustrating, and I didn't like how it looked with the gap, so I ended up removing them. I don't remember what I placed there. I think I placed pillars, or maybe another statue. I'm not too sure, but I end up using some of the tall garden rocks, which is really fun because I don't think I've used them in a build before, so I was excited to use them for this. And then I used a lot more of the shell lamps and the garden lamps, basically any little item that I could. I also used the Nova lights, which is exciting, and also the Turkey Day stands with the Nova lights, as you can see. I was really trying to focus on dimension when it comes to these builds. Oh yeah, okay, so I did end up using the pillars. That makes sense. But dimension and height, that was a big thing that I was trying to focus on in these builds. Because when it comes to these gardens, I don't want it to have just flat flowers, because then they just don't look as nice for me personally. So I tried to add different shapes and heights. That way it just kind of looked more dynamic, if that makes sense. Especially in Animal Crossing, when I'm not doing a bunch of terraforming and I have more open, flat sections of my island, you can kind of see the curve of the island. So I've noticed if I have just like a flat open section of land with a bunch of items that are all the same height, it emphasizes the curve more than when you have other items of different heights and dimensions to it. So that's kind of why I tried to have those little height differences. I also think it looks a lot better in photos when you have different heights. I don't know why, that's just a personal preference. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you like having items as different heights, or would you rather have everything the same height? But at this point, I'm just kind of doing like the final touches. I ended up even using a bird bath, which is something that I don't often use, but I should use more. And you know what I've just realized, y'all? I just realized that I went out and I made some decorative pillars for this build, and I forgot to customize them, so they are 2 different colors. I don't know if that bugs me or not. I've only just noticed it while doing this voiceover. And I don't know if it's a bad thing or not. I don't think it is, but now that I've noticed it, it's going to bug me. But it's so noticeable when they're right next to each other too. Oh well, I'll probably end up keeping it. Make something different. I don't know. I don't know if I'll keep it or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Should I customize those and fix them up, or leave them as is? That's another thing I did that's new in this video. I added some butterfly models. I've never used those in a build before. I've seen so many people use those in the past, and I've always wanted to incorporate them in my builds, and I've never been able to until now. Or I guess not that I've never been able to, but I've never been brave enough to try to use them because I've always felt like they would look weird, so I always got really worried and ended up just never using them. But I kind of like them, how they look covered with the flowers and everything else. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. Did I use them properly? Do they look nice, or do they look kind of bad? And then back again to this little border, placing the cosmos and the pink hyacinths and just kind of like this alternating pattern to make this border around the garden, I guess. It just, I don't know. I don't know why I did it. I thought it would look pretty. Looking back at it, I'm not the biggest fan of that area, but I still think it looks alright, so I'm going to keep it for now. If you have any ideas or suggestions for what I could switch up that border so it's not just flowers, let me know in the description below, because yeah, I don't know what else I could do with it. But this is it for the build. Here is the entrance. I love how it turned out. I really like the tunnel with the wedding arches. I think it's gorgeous. And then seeing all the pillars and the different heights, the butterfly models, and even look, we have a little ladybug just chilling right there. I am really happy with how this build turned out, and I'm so happy to be creating content again. Let me know what you all think down below in the description, and I shall see you all in the next video. Bye!